Looks like it's not leaking. No display here. I got to feel comfortable with. If you buy one, that'll go on to the Welcome back to Off Grid Al. Thank you for showing up today. My name is Alan. So today I want to talk about this ThermoMate 4.4 gallon per minute propane tankless water heater and matching vent kit that ThermoMate sent me to install in my tiny off-grid cabin. This is a tight little space, so filming it was a challenge, but I'll show you the install, the plumbing upgrades, the expansion tank, and then we'll test it on my spring water system. So let's back up and I'll show you how I got it installed. Well, good morning. Getting ready for a project here. So let's take a look at what they sent me here. They were kind enough to send me a vent kit. So we'll go ahead and see what that consists of in here. You got some clamps there and instructions. This is your outlet vent, and it's kind of nice. It will help keep, any larger bugs out anyway, for the most part. So that's going to go through the wall and be outside. Nice clean look. Then you've got, for that, you got a vent pipe to go through the wall. This one's about 12 inches long, and it does come with a second one here. And so if you need to extend it somewhere, then you've got this to work with too. I don't think I'm going to need this one in the install. They do offer a 90-degree elbow. That's going to mount in the top. That's where that other vent pipe's going to go through the wall. And then you're going to put your screened part on. So that comes in the kit. Also, it looks like it comes with a thimble. Go through the wall, and you got room here to put it. It's insulation around it. If you're working with a raw wall, that's easiest. I've got to drill through my wall again because the hole on this is something like 4.25 inches. It's larger. I'm going to have to do a little work because I've already cut a 3-inch hole. So I don't have something to stabilize it. I'm going to make plates, and I'll show you that when I go to cut it. And I will cut through those plates and create a guide basically. So when I put the drill through, I can go ahead and cut it. I probably will just do a 5-inch hole because this is going to seal off the hole. Then I don't have to get out a jigsaw and do all that kind of funky work. We will get to that in a little bit too. Let's take a look at the on-demand heater. All right, so I have already opened up this stuff, obviously. It comes with a nice little thank you card, and then on the back side, it's actually a template on the back side here. And so we'll be using this a little later to come up with the positioning of stuff. Little packet of hardware. And then the heater here. So you have your water inlet here, so that's where your cold water is going to go in. This is where your propane hookup is. And this is your outlet. So your hot water will come out here, and you've got the cord for it with a 110 hookup. On the bottom and on the top are brackets for mounting, so easy mounting. Only thing on the top coming out is the exhaust that you're going to plumb outside with that kit I just showed you. On the front, you've got a nice digital display here. I got the ThermoMate name, and on the side here, you have some good instructions for the install and safety precautions, okay? So, a little bit of venting on the back here, it looks like, for the electronics. And there's your brackets again for mounting. So a little later, we'll get back into this and we'll start installing it today. I got to pull out the one that's in there. I have another on-demand hot water heater in there that I didn't a full install on. This is going to take the place of that one, and I probably will move that one over to the utility building later. I'm really excited to do this and work with ThermoMate again. I've worked with them a couple times before. I'm really happy with the products. They're really high quality. We'll get back into that here in a minute. I made two templates. I made a 5-inch and a 4-inch template. And you can see I got a pretty good space here. That gives me some slop to work with, which would work out nice. This one here just is about the same width of it, but not enough to fit it in there. I do have this little deal here with sander on it. I don't know how well it would work, but I could open it up, you know, after doing the 4-inch hole to where this fits nice and snug. And then if that doesn't work, as a worst case scenario, I can always just come back, and you can see the difference in sizes here. I could just line this up, anchor it over the hole. This is my guide. This will guide me so that I can do this because I don't have anything to anchor the drill bit to here. So that's what I've done. I just made two guides, and these are only the 5 inches, the biggest one I have. Then the next size down is 4 inches. There's no halves. That would. See if this will, as planned, work for me. That's good enough there. There we go. Okay, I gotta go outside and do the other side now. (23.5 inches approximately. Yeah, 23.5 inches from the top of this to the bottom of the next one. So let's go ahead and get the bottom of the next one in place. And I got about 1/8 of an inch gap there. That might work. I just need that to hang it on. Then I can level out the heater. We are level. Okay. Another thing you're going to want to get for your on-demand hot water system is a water heater valve kit. Here's one I bought earlier. It's a 3/4 inch, hot and cold. You'll get your instructions with it. So you have a pressure relief valve, comes in the kit. That'll go on to the hot water valve here, which screws on right here, and essentially will be pointing down when I install it. The other thing that you have is a way to drain this with a hose. You can do a hose onto this. Also, you have a cold water valve, so that also has a drain on it. And everything will be handled down, and then you'll be ready to roll. This should fit right onto this on-demand hot water heater, no problem. I will leave links to this as well as the heater in the comment section. So I like to use this stuff. It's called True Blue. This will work on gas line and it will work on water lines. So it's a one-stop shop. I like it better than tape. So we're going to hook up the valve for the cold. There is a bleeder valve at the back side of this. Unfortunately, I didn't talk about it earlier, but if you end up buying one, you'll see it. There we go. It's in the valve. And like I said, keep this pointing down. Next, we're going to hook up the propane line. With this kind of fitting, no sealants necessary. So we can go ahead and just hook this up. Okay, so we're good there. Now we can start hooking up our hot water. Then the only other thing is, I only did a 12-inch pipe. That's going to come off of this. And that's going to just come straight down into here. So it'll spray a bit. If it ever does that, it'll make a little bit of a mess. I'll just snug it up by hand, really. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple things here. I researched and found I need an expansion tank on a closed system. I am going to be adding a backflow valve, preventing water from going back into the system. Not that it could, but I'm going to do it anyways. So in that case, you need one of these. According to the instructions on this, you want to do it on the cold water side. Also, my research says that as well. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy. If you look in the manual for this, they do show an illustration where it's on the hot water side, but I researched it. I'm going to do it the way that everything tells me to do it, putting it on the cold water side. Okay, so I will leave links to this. You'll need to do your own due diligence and do what you feel comfortable with if you buy one of these heaters and decide you're going to do a closed system, which is what this will cause, so that the water doesn't backflow. So let's go ahead and get busy and get this going the way I have planned to do it. First thing I want to do, may as well, is I want to make sure I get this where I want it. Then I got one more of these to squeeze. Definitely don't want to forget that. I'll have a heck of a leak. Everything else feels nice and snug. Just dry it off and see if we can see if there's any kind of leaks there. I gotta open up the valve. There we go. I think we're good. Yeah, we're solid. So, in theory, I just need to turn the water on. I gotta plug everything in. So give me a moment, we'll check it out. Okay, Nice digital readout. I mean, it's really close to my tank. That's at 110 is what I have it set at. Very nice looking. Looks like it's not leaking. All right, let's test our system here. Let's... Hot water only. It's getting hot already. Feels good. Be a nice shower tonight. All right, let's check the kitchen faucet now. Get the air out of the system. It's already getting hot. That's much quicker than the CAMPLUX was. I mean, it's already hot. Amazing. Wouldn't even know it's off grid, would you? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. Well, this is pretty cleaned up. I got a couple little piles over here to the left of the camera to chip. And I'll be spreading out throughout this area to keep the dust down. Then, of course, I've got many more limbs and things to chip up over time. And I've got more wood to cut. Right now, this stuff's cleared up. I drug a couple logs over here. I got 2 of them sitting over here. One's a short one right now, ready to start cutting next to the electric chainsaw. And then I got a larger one over there by Cooper's. And that I drug from way over there. And you can see I'm making a nice little firewood stack, which is real close to my cabin for this winter. And of course, I got this one little dog right here, this golden retriever that seems to think I should play 24/7. What do you want, Sage? Really? You want me to throw that toy? Are you asking me to throw that ball? Is that what you want me to do? You know, are you going to take off if I grab it before I even throw it? No? That's surprising. Go get it. Good girl. Alrighty, I've got to get back to stacking this and cutting this other stuff up for today. Then I'm going to go over and do the bales of straw. I'm going to spread those out in my garden area so it'll mulch it rather than wood chips in there. The wood chips I'm using mainly to make the place look a little better and keep the dust down, which is horrible. you up. She was scared. That'll keep everything cool. That tank there, I'll probably get 2 months out of it on this. So I have 3 of the tanks, and usually that's what I'll use to run this during the summer. In the winter, now that I have the 12-volt coolers, I'm going to try those out this year and see if they take less power than they do in the summer. Because it's cooler. In fact, they almost won't even need to be ran. It gets cold enough out here that I usually just put stuff in a cooler and just put snow in it. So I'm going to try the electric ones, the 12 volters this year, and see what kind of power usage they do in a cold climate. So that'll be a test, see how they work for wintertime use. Because in the winter, I don't want to waste propane. I just don't. I don't even use this in the winter. In the winter, this thing is empty and clean and ready for next season. If I had the ability to have about a 500-gallon tank of propane up here, I'd just leave it running and use it year round. But I don't have that. No one can make it up here to fill it. But what I'm going to do later is I'm going to buy a utility trailer specifically for like about a 250 to 500-gallon tank. And then I will just drive it down wherever I can go and get it filled. This is fired up. Off to the next project. All right, for now, that's enough. I got a barbecue coming up here. Got some neighbors coming over. I'm gonna go ahead and work through this. Then any extra pieces of straw, I'll break them apart and just start layering on top of what's here. Get a little thicker. Eventually, I'm gonna till it all in and turn it into mulch. Right now, the whole idea is to hopefully keep the weeds and the wild plants from coming back up. We'll see if that works. Either way, I'll end up taking anything out that pops up that shouldn't be there to make this a nice garden area. The pine tree up there, that's going to come out. I'm going to replant it. Come on, Sage. Well, I've measured out 20 feet between some stakes. I'm going to roll this out and I'm going to try and start wrapping the place with this stuff. And I got to do one section at a time. It's just, there's no way I can do it with the whole roll and keep it continuous like I'd like to do. Sage, get off there. Off. Silly dog. You are a silly girl. So this stuff is a, what do you call it? I guess it's breathable. I see a lot of slits in it, so I don't know. I don't think I'll get a ton of water on the building. Okay. So this time I cut a piece for this wall here, and I put a 9-foot stick in the middle of it. When I roll it up, that makes it much more easy to work with, I think. We'll find out here. So it's nice and stout that way. Since it didn't really work out super great last time, we're going to try this. There we go. I think I'm going to have to buy another roll. I don't think this is going to be enough. Ran out. I think we're okay now. Okay. Anyway, we just get these afternoon winds every day. That kind of makes it tough when you're doing this kind of work, for sure. So this is the last of what I have here. I did find it in 3-foot rolls at Home Depot. So I'm going to use this to try to get this whole peak done. a piece of cardboard tube in here and it just fell. I was wondering what that sound was. So here's going to be the challenge. I may have to come back and loosen this up and straighten this out. I feel like it's going to go downhill, but I can fix that if I don't anchor it too much. So to start with, I got to just do that. Okay, this side's done. The upper pieces, I got them to actually overlap each other just fine. Okay, just got the back wall to do. Anyhow, it turned out okay. With scaffolding, I could have done so much better, but I'm not going to build scaffolding. I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wrapped up for today. I'll worry about doing the seam tape later, and then the cap nails too, prior to the seam tape. And this is going to be for the shop. This is a system made by I will be showing you the whole install on this. It's going to be a lot of work. All right, I hope you'll be back to see it. Thank you. Okay guys, I think I wanted to end this video on a sweet note, off-grid style. There you go, chocolate chip cookies on the barbecue.